Hello, my dear students of class 5. This is social science, and today we are going to begin with a new topic from chapter 11, Great Personalities, page number 8080. Here in this chapter, you're going to learn about very important people, about their life, what are the things that they have done, and also many of these great personalities have left a great impact. That is, they have left a great lesson for us. And because of some of them, our life has become easier, and because some of them was able to remove the social evils from our society, while some of them have fought for our Indian independence. Okay, so today you're going to learn about these three people. One is Raja Ram Mohan Roy, number two, Mahatma Gandhi, and third, Rabindranath Tagore. So these are the three great personalities that we are going to learn today, and the remaining great personalities will be explained in the next classes. So to understand all of them, you have to watch. Okay, so let me begin with the first one, Raja Ram Mohan Roy. So this man, he was born in Bengal, and we don't know the exact year of his birth, so it is not mentioned. And some of the great works that he has done in the society was he has eradicated, that means he has stopped or removed the social evils like sati system and the child marriages, and he also uplifted women. That means he has improved the lives of women. Also, he founded a Samaj known as Brahmo Samaj, which I'm going to explain in detail, and he is known as a great social reformer. Okay, talking about Raja Ram Mohan Roy, he was born in a Bengal family of Kolkata, and from his very young childhood days, he was really interested in working for the society. Okay, that is the reason why when he grew up, he saw the painful sufferings of women in the society, so he decided to improve the life of women. So for that, he also took the help of the Britishers. Now let's go back to the story. So those times when Raja Ram Mohan Roy was a young man, the Britishers were in India. They were ruling India. So there were times when the British were the masters of India. So they were taking control of the Indian people. For some, they really hated the Britishers because they wanted the British to go away from their country. But for some, they have taken advantage of this British rule, and they learned so many things. So even Raja Ram Mohan Roy, he also took advantage, and he learned many new languages. He also learned about different cultures, and since he was a Hindu and his family was also a Hindu, so they were really a devotee of Hindu gods. That means they really worshipped Hindu gods, okay? And his family, his parents especially, they were true believers of the religion. But Raja Ram Mohan Roy, he was quite different from his parents, and he started practicing other religions, not exactly following the rules like doing the pujas, or not like going to the temples or Buddhist temples. He didn't go to the Muslims mosque to pray, but he also studied. He gave interest in other religions, and he started telling his own Indian people to stop worshipping idols. And that is the reason why he was removed from his family relationship. His parents told him to go away from his family, and he lost contact. Okay, so that was the main reason why he had to move away from his own family, because he started telling the Indian people not to worship idols, which has really hurt the feelings of the Hindus. Okay, and why he did that was actually because he saw that the Indian people were following their culture, like in Indian tradition those days, women were not treated equally, and women did not get education. So they had to stay at home, they had to work for their family, and when they grow older, they were married off. So their entire year, their whole life, they have to serve their husband, their sons, and then they grow old. So he not only that, but he also saw that women did not get education, so they were not able to get knowledge like men. So, seeing all these things, he thought that some of the practices that the Hindus used were not good for their own Hindu women, right? So, he thought that it's better if we start applying, that means if we start practicing some of the Western culture. In the Western society, women also got rights, right? Women can also express their ideas, they can also show freedom in some ways. So, by looking at this, he thought that it's better if we also change our culture and we also practice some of the Western culture and then change these social evils, okay? Evils are bad, right? So he wanted to remove those uh, practice in the society that was very harmful for the women. So Raja Ram Mohan Roy, he was greatly remembered for what he has done for the women. Okay, the first one I'm going to explain is the sati system. Okay, SATI. All right. Now here in this practice, those women whose husband die, they are thrown to the fire along with the dead husband. So I'm very sure most women will be scared. They wouldn't want to die, right? Because it's not easy for human beings to get burned and feel everything in our body, right? So not only that, but even women, they did not want to die even after their husband dies, but they were forced to die along with their husband, and that also by burning alive. So it was very horrible, it was very dangerous, and he decided to stop this system. So, in order to do that, he took the help of the Britishers. So, some of the Britishers helped him, and finally, after so many years of struggling, he was able to remove sati system from the Hindu society. Okay, so when we look at the sati system, we can't exactly understand the reason, or we don't know the exact story of how it started, all right? But some say that it might have come from the Indo-European, or maybe from some of their queen, because they have sacrificed their life for their husband and their father. So the story is believed that way. But this system, whatever it is, this system was very bad, right? So he strongly opposed, he strongly was against this system, and finally it was succeeded. Now women, even after their husband dies, they were able to live freely, and they later on, some of the social reformers, which is not included in your chapter, but some of the social reformers also tried to let these widowed women to remarry, okay, gave the rights to the widow. Or else, in the Indian society, women were not treated well, they could not get education, they can't go out of the homes like the man, they have to always stay inside the house working, learning to do the work at home. So that was their most important job. So when this sati system was removed, also some social reformers has helped the women to remarry, so that even after their husband dies, they can also get to choose another husband for themselves. Okay, then another one is child marriage. Now another social evil is child marriage. Here children at a very young age, instead of sending them to the schools or enjoying with your friends, they were forced to get married. Now, this was fully done by the parents. So, the parents used to choose a partner for their own children, and most of the children they don't want to get married, right? Because children at a very young age, about 10, about 12, or even younger than 10, they were forced to get married, and then the entire life they live as a husband, as a wife, as a daughter in law, and they had so many responsibilities at home and they had to work and work the entire time. All right. Now, Raja Ram Mohan Roy, he was also the founder of Brahmo Samaj. This Brahmo Samaj has also been against by some of the great personalities. It is said that Mahatma Gandhi, he didn't like the writings of Ram Mohan Roy, okay, because Raja Ram Mohan Roy, he was in favor, he liked the British, he wanted the British culture to come in India, right? But Mahatma Gandhi, he wanted the British to go away from India, right? So sometimes there was differences in their thoughts and ideas. So at the end, we can see that Raja Ram Mohan Roy was a very great social reformer, and he has improved the life of women, and girl child were able to enjoy their rights, and they were not forced to die along with their husband because child marriage was removed and the sati system was removed. Okay, next one is Mahatma Gandhi. So he is a very well-known personality. He was born on 2nd of October 1869 in Gujarat, and his works are too many, but here they have mentioned only few of them, and he is known as a national freedom fighter, and some of the works are non-cooperation movement, civil disobedience movement, quit India movement. Okay, so Mahatma Gandhi, his story starts from his education. He didn't do his studies from India. He studied from London, and then later on he went to Africa to do his internship. Okay, so internship is just like a job that you have to do after you finish certain courses. So when he was there, he saw that the people in Africa, they are known as the black people, right? They were suffering a lot, and he was very disturbed. But when he came back to India, he saw that his own Indian people were also suffering from the British rule. So that was why he started this national freedom movement. That is, he started doing those things that would help the Indian people to remove the British from their country. Okay, so long time ago, the British, they came to India for some work, for some trade. In other lessons, I've explained to you what is a trade. It's a business, right, where people exchange their goods in the form of money, in the form of food. So Indian spices were very popular all over the world. So the British also came to India and saw that India had so many wealth. India was quite rich, okay? And they knew that they can gain so many things from India. So later on, their queen and then their soldiers came to India. Then they set up their officers in India. They set up their own army in India. And then slowly and slowly, all the Indians came under the control of the Britishers. And it was during the times of Raja Ram Mohan Roy, Mahatma Gandhi, and even Rabindranath Tagore, which I'm going to explain next. So during their times, the Britishers were taking control of the Indian man, right? So Mahatma Gandhi, he worked very hard to remove the Britishers from their country. So I'm going to explain one of them, the non-cooperation movement. Here, Mahatma Gandhi, he doesn't want to fight back, okay? He doesn't like violence, so that is ahimsa, okay? Ahimsa means non-violence. He doesn't want to fight, he doesn't want to use violence, but he wants to do everything in a peaceful manner, all right? So this non-cooperation movement was, he decided that they will not cooperate. That means they will not obey, they will not follow all the British rules. So some of the things that he tried along with the Indian men were they threw out all the British goods from their society, whether it's clothes, books, because those days the British, they set up their own company and the Indians have to buy from them, right? Whether it's the clothes or any things that we use at home. So Mahatma Gandhi, he advised his own Indian people that we will not use their clothes, we will not use their books, and they burned them. Then sometimes the British also give certain orders. So he decided that we will not follow all the orders that they give us, because if we keep doing that, we will be a slave. Slave is like a servant, right? So we will be a slave to them, so we will not cooperate with them. Then another one was the Quit India movement. Here, Mahatma Gandhi, along with the Indian people, they decided to go and request the Britishers to go away, to leave India, okay? So that was Quit India. And then they requested them, all right, instead of fighting with them or doing a war with them, he decided to tell the Britishers to leave their country by sharing good words in a understanding and a peaceful way. Okay, so that was the idea of Mahatma Gandhi. All right. Okay, next is Rabindranath Tagore. He was born on 7th of May 1861 from Kolkata, Bengal. His works were, he was awarded for Gitanjali, then he also composed the national anthem. He wrote about 50 books and 2,000 poems, and he founded the Vishwa Bharati University at Shanti Niketan, West Bengal. Now, this man, Rabindranath Tagore, he composed our national anthem. And national anthem, we sing during our Independence Day, right? Jane Gana Mana, right? So, this song was composed by Rabindranath Tagore. He was a songwriter. He used to write poems. He also write stories and a lot of biographies, okay? So he started all these things at a very young age. It is said that he started writing at the age of 2 years. So when he was a teenage, he started writing poems and then stories and even songs, okay? So Rabindranath Tagore, what made him so interested in writing was that when he was young, his mother died and his father used to mostly travel to different parts of India. And his father was also a very well-known person in India. His name was Rabindranath Tagore. So he used to keep in touch with the Britishers and he left many servants at home. So most of the time, this man, Rabindranath Tagore, he was taken care by the servants and he also grew more and more interest to learn other literatures and he read books that gave him interest to write his own book. Okay, so that was the reason why he wrote 50 books and 2,000 poems. All right, so his work was rewarded for Gitanjali, and he is also the first Nobel Prize winner of India. Okay, so he was awarded. This Gitanjali is a book, is a holy book. It's a religious song, all right? And he was rewarded for that. And one of his song was also made the national anthem. And even now, after so many years of independence, we still use this song during our Independence Day, right? And he opened some universities. It is also said that when he first started his school, he used to go and teach the students by himself. And there was no classroom, so they used to sit under a tree and they used to learn from him. And in the daytime, in other hours, he used to study or he used to keep on writing for more and more poetries and stories and biographies. Okay, so this is it about these three great personalities. In the next lesson, we are going to learn about more interesting people. All right, so let us revise. Let's revise from page number 83. The first one, we have three. Okay, let us revise. Raja Ram Mohan Roy was one of the greatest social reformer. The answer is true. We have many social reformer, but the most important and the greatest one is Raja Ram Mohan Roy. Number two, Mahatma Gandhi's three great movements resulted in the freedom of India. Correct, okay? His movements like Quit India, civil disobedience, and non-cooperation, this helped the Indians to remove the British rule from Indian country. Okay? Then the third one, Rabindranath Tagore was the first Indian Nobel Prize winner. The answer is correct. He was the first Nobel Prize winner. Before him, there was no one, and he was the first one to paved a way. That means he created a way for the Nobel Prize. Okay, so thank you, my dear students. In the next class, we will learn more together.